Hey guys, welcome again to Spin Up. This is episode 5. And today, myself, Alan, and Usman, we're going to be talking about a current event, a current news event. GameStop, if you haven't heard, has had some amazing things happening with their stock. I don't think the stock investors think it's pretty amazing, but probably everyone else does. So we're going to be talking about what has happened with GameStop and their stocks, why they were getting shorted, why people are buying them, and why it's shot up so much, and just kind of give our thoughts about it. Also, we're going to talk afterwards more about what we did growing up in terms of in terms of our gaming experiences. What type of games do we play, if any, and go from there. So, yeah, let's begin. So, GameStop, yeah. So right now,
Yeah.
if I share my screen here, we can see that GameStop has, let me switch over to it, share. Their stock currently at this moment on Sunday is at 325 USD, um, which is
What's the
pretty
price?
ridiculous.
Yeah. So what's the price 1 years ago, or just
So
that's
we could look at 6 months.
6 months? Oh,
Yeah, you can see
Oh my
that
God.
yeah. So it used to be around like 10, 13, yeah, 9,
um,
Wow.
7,
wow.
$4.
It's a 100 times increase.
So it's shot up. The peak looked like it was 300 and almost 350. So yeah, what is going on here? Um, so yeah, so the stock itself was expected to not do well. So during the pandemic, GameStop was having some issues because they're a brick and mortar store. And so that being the case, a lot of people during the pandemic were encouraged to stay home and nobody's going into stores, staying social distanced. So it affected a lot of brick and mortar stores, including GameStop. Their primary uh, business model is to bring people in and experience and see all these games around you and really get you excited to buy. So you can, as a kid, go with your parents and you're like, I want this, I want that, I want this. Um, and so that has hurt them tremendously during the pandemic time. And what happened is the investors in the stock, they decided that it was time that they wanted to short the stock, um, because they saw that they weren't doing so well. Now, I'm not an investor. I'm not the best at the nitty gritty details about shorting, and what has gone on. Do you know more about that, Alan or Usman?
Uh,
What is shorting? Why did they short the stocks?
Um, well, I've just when this thing happened, I looked into what shorting was, and from what I can understand is that you basically are betting against the stock. So you borrow some money and you buy the stock at the market
Okay.
rate, and then you sell it immediately. But what happens is that you have to return the stock that you borrowed. So the idea is that um, in some time the stock is going to get down, and when its price is lower, then you buy it back, and then return the stock to whoever you bought it from. So that's what they
Okay.
call shorting.
So an example would be a physical example could be if you're going to the market and you bought an apple for a certain price, and then the value of that went down.
So I
with
think if
high,
you
right?
bought an
Will
apple,
goes higher.
and so let's say an apple was for $10, right?
Yeah.
So you borrow an apple, you sell it for $10, and then after let's say 2 days or 3 days, when you have to return the apple to whoever you borrowed it from, um, let's say the apple's price lowers down to $5. So you buy an apple from the
Oh,
$10
okay.
that you sold the original Apple app,
So you'll buy
and
two
the
apples, return one.
return one, and
Uh,
the other apple is your profit.
Gotcha.
It's a weird concept. Like, it's very weird to wrap your head around it.
But I get it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
definitely as a person investing, if you feel that things are not looking so hot, you would probably want to short and then sell later so
yeah.
you can profit more. Interesting. Okay. So interesting. So that means these investors are probably, in the minds of many people, could be playing pretty dirty, causing this company GameStop that they love so much, that they grew up with, to not do so well. They're banking on that they're not going to do well, that they're going to go down, and so that's probably not what you want investors to be thinking
Yeah,
about your company.
yeah, exactly.
Um, so cool. So yeah, so what was happening, at least the bit that I read in the news, is that a Reddit trend started where people who had this experience, this nostalgia, this connection with GameStop, started to rally together on a Reddit feed, and basically were saying, we're gonna do whatever it is to kind of screw these investors, and started buying the stock and caused it to shoot up, as we're seeing here, and up and up and up it went. It went up so
So,
high that they said um, the heads over the market, I'm not sure what the term is, they said, we're going to stop this. You cannot buy anymore, and people were getting mad after that too. Like, you literally, that's
yeah, I
not
think
allowed. Yeah.
uh, that happened with Robinhood app because people were buying these stocks on Robinhood, and
Okay.
they basically stopped selling. So people are like getting mad, like, this is, what are you doing? This does not seem fair at all.
Yeah. So that's a bit shady, right? It's like,
Yeah, it
how
does sound silly.
so
Yeah,
they are benefiting, and if they're not benefiting, if they're losing, which a lot of investors
yeah,
lost millions of dollars and were having to be bailed out by other investors and other individuals, which doesn't look good for their
yeah,
companies. So but you could imagine that, yeah, after a certain point, somebody whose pockets are being burnt and have a lot of clout, they're going
yeah.
to do something to
They,
stop it.
yeah. I was
yeah.
reading that they actually bought the stocks at like $18, and then the stock um, skyrocketed to like 300 something. So then you basically, per stock, you have to give $300 from your own pocket. So like, these hedge fund was like losing lots of money. So it does
Billions
make
of
sense
money.
from their part to stop. Yeah, billions of dollars.
Yeah, too much money.
Yeah,
So yeah, I could, if I was in their shoes, yeah, I'd freak out too. But I get it. I get it. I guess from the perspective of these people on Reddit, which is interesting, we don't really know the diversity of this community. It could be young people, could be older people who've lived growing up playing games and just loved going into GameStop and buying all the games that they've collected. But that diversity, it's like, where are they getting the money from? Are they just a bunch of older individuals who worked for a while, have money, and just decided to jump on this cause because of their beloved GameStop being shorted?
I would think
So
if you see that uh, the trend of the stock price, you see it shooting up, you would try to get as much profit out of that as possible. So if like, I got to
yeah.
know of this thing after it skyrocketed. So I'm like, okay, now I cannot do anything about it.
I
But
can't jump on this train.
yeah, I can. The train is
It's
long
already
gone.
too hot. Yeah, it's too hot now.
Yeah, it's way too
Yeah,
hot.
but if I would know about this, then I would surely invest
Yeah, you see it
at
went
least some of
down.
my money, not everything. Yeah.
I agree. And then it went back up. It's still going up. It's pretty amazing. Cool. So yeah, GameStop. So I guess we can transition, into our experiences too. Like, growing up, I guess the question would be for all three of us is, what are some of the games that we played growing up? Were they video games? Were they, board games? Were they just random games with friends? Let's kind of talk about that. I'll let Alan go first, and then you can pick who goes next.
Okay, yeah. So probably I'm one of the three who played very little games during my childhood. So as you guys know, I grew up in the village, so I don't have too much chance to play games. Oh, sorry. Too much games. So the one of the game I play a lot is Tetris. And the reason why I can play it is because one of my neighbors who work in Shenzhen, he brought one game console back, so I have the chance to borrow several hours per week. Just go there and back him like, okay, I play the game and back him a few minutes. So he will give me like 1 hour or 2 hours time so that I can just play. It's just like the classic and black and white game console. Yeah,
Okay.
it was amazing to me at that time.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of the only thing the game console I'm familiar with. So after that, I'm a farmer. I was a farmer, so I just raised the cow and the sheep in the backyard and on the hills. So I just play some homemade games. Either made it by wood or either made by some iron. It's a very local version of games, but I don't really know how to say it in English. It's probably we don't have a term for that.
Can you look on YouTube and find like a video of one of the games that you've played? That would be cool to see. I know there's one that you showed me before.
Yes.
That would be interesting for people to see. It's kind of a circular device that you guys use to roll around in an open space and look pretty challenging too.
It is.
Rolling
okay, let me
around?
share this.
We'll let you look for that. Did you have it?
Yes, I have that the image. I think currently they have a very decent design about this one. So this is the kind of like the handle. Oh, like look at this case. Oh, this is fancy.
Yeah,
it's too fancy. So most of the time, my parents just like give us a for some of the leftover about to construct the home. We don't really have the handle. Just homemade this circle, this random thing. Also, there's no handle. We just kind of like drive through the circle along the dust row, just to trying to chase it to have fun.
So you're trying to go the farthest with it, or how does it work? What's the name of the game and how is it played? What's the game?
It's not a game. It's just we can play game with it. So if some of my friends also have it, we can just we start from the line to see who is the best to reach the destination, or you can just to find some challenge row. Can you just still drive that thing and through over to the destination? That's one of the game we play.
Nice. Well, cool.
So you roll this thing, the circle?
Yeah, roll the thing. Use that handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's interesting.
Awesome. Okay. That's one of your childhood games that you guys, or I guess tools you played with. Is there something else too?
Let's find another one.
Okay.
Spinning
tops.
Spinning tops. It's kind of like this one. We just homemade this thing.
Yeah. You wrap the string around it and pull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of similar, but we just because we homemade that this thing is not that fancy, but
Yep.
we just use the one of the I forgot the term. Never mind. Never mind. It's so many terms we use locally, but it's not for English.
Just say it in Chinese. Come on.
We call it the PP
Okay.
It's kind of like we spin it a lot. We just use it. This is the rope. We have a handle so that you can just like you raise the cup.
Just
This
whip
one,
it
you're
and it'll
just
start
trying to
spinning.
accelerate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
we had these spinning tops growing up too. There's so many different variants. I've never seen this one before. But yeah, I think it must be kind of a international type of pastime for some kids. You have another one you're searching for?
we're just trying to find a similar thing to my. Okay. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is very like the one where we grow up. Oh, $34 RMB. That's kind of expensive.
You used
Okay.
to homemade these.
Yeah, that's the handle. Pretty decent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll move on to Usman. What is your gaming experience growing up, Usman? What did you do?
Um, well, I honestly played video games a lot. So I remember the first time I actually saw um, video games. I was like really impressed. Like I was a little kid and I saw them at my uncle's house.
Hmm.
Someone from their family came from some country outside, and then they brought this Nintendo entertainment system for their kids. And like I saw um, the game Mario on there for the first time, and after that I was like, I really cried a lot, and then asked my mom to buy me that thing. And
Okay.
then we got it, and like I used to play that game all day. Um, so like
Nice.
that's how I was introduced to video games. And then later, well, as you know, things started improving. The new game consoles were released, but um, I mostly stuck to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Um, so for me, I have been playing video games ever since I remember. Um, so when I heard about GameStop, I was like really excited because whenever I go into some um, brick and mortar store, which is selling video games, I
Hmm.
even now I'm really excited about it. Just to go through and browse all the things that they have. Even though in this age it's all about Steam and digital purchases and everything. Um, but yeah, my childhood has been filled with all of these video games: Sega, Nintendo, Sonic. I used to play Sonic a lot. Um, Mario, um, and all of these games.
Definitely.
And honestly, I'm still playing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now the games have improved, the graphics have improved, but yeah, I'm still there.
Cool. Yeah, I know we together play League of Legends. What other ones do we play? Do we play Han or Dota
Um,
together? I know I played with some people.
I tried playing CS with um, Alan once, but then we did not have enough stuff. But Alan was playing with his friend, and I watched them play Counter Strike. Um,
Counter-Strike.
it was
Yeah.
fun, but like yeah, I miss playing League of Legends with you guys. Good days.
We need to get back to
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So for myself, I yeah, so I've always had kind of games in my life, in terms of like video games, board games. Yeah, we've had that growing up in my family a lot. So my older brother, he actually got one of the old kind of Atari 2600s or whatever it was. And we had games on the computer that we had too. So we had like the Olympic Games, and we went from Atari to Atari Jaguar. We had the Jaguar. We had Game Boys. We had Nintendo NES.
Boy.
We had the Atari Link, which is a handheld video game system, which was awesome. Died too early. They would have, if they could have continued, they would be like Nintendo with this guy, this Nintendo Switch. It's very similar in size to this, and yeah. So we had the Genesis, we got the Super NES, we had a PlayStation 2, and then we stopped buying PlayStations. Yeah, we never got into
Why?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a transition into college, and we just all stopped playing or buying too many game systems. Yeah, and then so I have not bought anything since PlayStation 2 in terms of the PlayStation brand, but I played PlayStation with my friends. Xbox, never bought an Xbox, but have played a lot of Xbox games with my friends. Have done a lot of PC gaming too, from the Warcraft series to what else is out there? Command and Conquer, Counter
Oh my
Strike. I
God,
mean,
that game is amazing.
yeah, Halo. Yeah, so I've been around the bush here and there. Personally, it's kind of weird. I wouldn't consider myself a gamer. I'm just kind of like a social gamer with friends. You know what I mean? I definitely have played my Switch a lot during the pandemic here because it's boring and you got to do something. So I have Animal Crossing on this and play Animal Crossing a lot. But yeah, so that was, and now in terms of my life, my season of life, I actually transitioned in terms of my career to getting a degree in game development. So which you guys know, and our viewers probably don't know yet, but yeah, so I got my degree, my graduate degree in game development at USC, which totes to have the #1 gaming program in the US. So that's kind of the route I wanted to take and transition into that career path. So so I'm working towards getting plugged in more into that space and start developing games. I think I'm more on the side now of developing games than playing games, and that's appropriate if that's what I'm wanting to be a professional at. So but yeah, so
Nice.
I still love games. I love playing games with people, and I definitely like, personally, I like the Nintendo brand of games more so than any games because they're more social and family friendly. A lot of fun. You can have big groups playing together. So that's kind of my take, my background of gamings. Board games too. We can talk more about that, like the long hours of playing Catan and the various other board games that are out there. Like I love board games too. So
Nice.
Yeah, I
you
love
guys have,
Catan. I've like sunk a lot of hours in Catan. Yeah,
yeah,
I've played it in the US. Like we don't have it over here.
yeah.
Like someone introduced it to me over there, and I was hooked. Like I would play it
It's an
every day.
amazing game. Yeah,
Yeah, we would
cool,
sink
cool.
like 3 or 4 hours daily in Catan. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a very addictive game. They designed the mechanics of it and the features of it very well. It's very well balanced, and it's kind of different every time. So, but yeah, Settlers of Catan. Cool. Are you guys have any questions for me, or do you guys have questions for each other? Otherwise, we're gonna keep this short.
Yeah, just keep it short.
All right, cool.
yeah.
So yeah, we just wanted to chat about the current events with the current situation with GameStop and their stocks. Pretty crazy stuff. I think this is kind of a historic thing, has never really happened before in the stock market. So yeah, check out more of the news about it. It's pretty interesting stuff. And yeah, let us know in the comments kind of what your gaming experience is growing up. and what type of games you guys play now today. And we would love for you, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, definitely always click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Yep.